Chris Cuomo here. Welcome to NewsNation. I've got one word for the signal saga. Enough. We all get what this is and what this is not. I say enough, because we don't need to go through the same cycle of baloney that we did in the first administration. We get it. Trump won't own it. There will be no apology. Media and the left, you want scalps. You're not getting them from this. Hegseth is getting sent to Guam. Waltz is going to Greenland. And that is as close to banished either will be for now. There is no mystery here. The Trump folks know they messed up. They're saying it on camera. They're certainly saying it on background. But they also would rather be in this fight than not. You got to remember that. If they're fighting against how the left is against them and the media and this and there's a hoax and that, they do that all day rather than have to deal with several other fronts that I am going to talk about tonight. So let's just be straight about it. The reporter's not the problem. We get the idea. He's a lefty. His wife's a lefty. He's not to be believed. Yeah, you don't say that about the Fox folk, right? They should all be part of the administration. But this guy, he shouldn't be believed by MAGA. Oh, and he should have alerted the Trump team right away and taken himself off the thread. You show me a reporter who says that's what they would have done, and I'll show you a liar, okay? Now, tell me this. If Goldberg's such a hater, why did he alert Waltz at all? Think about it. Is that what a hater would do? Bottom line, the Trumpers were clearly sharing classified information. It was wrong the way that they communicated it on Signal, and they included the reporter. Not a hoax. He did nothing wrong. And yes, there's another aspect that the non-Trump media ignores. The operation they were talking about was a success. The Houthis suck, and were coming for us. No one was hurt by this comms error, and it was an error. But nobody got hurt because of it. So this is not a major scandal. Now, if they do it again, if it compromises information, if it hurts people because that information gets out, then there's going to be an axe involved. But for right now, enough. Enough with deceiving Congress with the BS. I don't recalls. I thought that this way you guys were going to be different. I thought you were going to be better than the establishment, than the elite and their games. You do the same things that you say you were against. And from Congress, of course, you get the gotcha questions. It's all it's about. They can't get to the bottom of anything. And enough with the Trump triple step. Lie, deny, defy. We lived it again and again during the first term. New players, same game plan on display.
Nobody's texting war plans. There's no units, no locations, no routes, no flight paths, no sources, no methods, no classified information.
If you want to talk about classified information, talk about what was at Hillary Clinton's home that she was trying to bleach bit, talk about the classified documents in Joe Biden's garage that Hunter Biden had access to.
If this story proves anything, it proves that Democrats and their propagandists in the mainstream media know how to fabricate, orchestrate, and disseminate a misinformation campaign quite well.
I think it's all a witch hunt, that's all. I think it's a witch hunt. This is something that should have been done by sleepy Joe Biden, but he was asleep at the wheel, other than when it came to stealing money, of course.
Now, you want to play? Let me tell you why we should all want to move on. You heard what he just said, right? So let me just give you what the three-step is. They lie, claiming no classified information was shared on the chain. They say they want to be better than the deep state, but they're doing the same thing, right? Then they deny, right? They say this isn't even a real story. It's a hoax by a witch hunt. That's all this is. Please move. And then you have that this is about misinformation. And then they defy by attacking Biden, Clinton, the media, and the reporter. Enough. It's all fake. And you can prove it with a one-step test. Take everybody involved. Republicans, pet righty media, pod people, the gotcha gang, the Democrats. Are any of them saying what they're saying right now if you switch the R's to D's? No one. Hegseth is saying the same BS he used to say about Clinton. Trump is saying everybody's got to go. And the Democrats are saying, oh, but what about Russia or some other BS so that they don't have to deal with it? This is a game of party, not principle. You want to fight the good fight? Let's get after it. Forget the signal shenanigans. Start off with the 25% tariff on foreign cars. Explain to us this myth that putting the tariff on won't hurt inflation, will bring car producers back here and raise wages. Let's fight about that, okay? You've got a better case about Goldberg than you do about tariffs. Focus on the fact that Trump says all his NatSec folks are great, and Sleepy Joe, right? You heard him just say it, right? Do you know his NatSec people hadn't even made him aware that 4 U.S. soldiers went missing in Lithuania this week? He literally is assuring you that everything's under control, and Sleepy Joe, he wouldn't have been like this. He then gets asked about missing troops and is clueless. So let's stop talking about Biden. Because let me tell you, you keep doing stuff like this, people are going to start questioning your acuity like that, and they won't be wrong to do so. Focus on Trump pretending that cutting the federal workforce matters more than going after the DOD. Again, I am open to the case of agency cuts, okay? What's the savings? What is the compromise in terms of services? How do you balance them? I'm giving Bobby the top slot on the show tonight, and I got Stephen A. and Bill O'Reilly, and I rarely put anybody before them. But I will put a cabinet secretary before them to make a case that matters to the American people. But I will tell you this. It's not Bobby's call, but his boss is avoiding the DOD. Trump has added to defense spending twice since promising cuts there. That bloated backyard of what Congressman Tim Burchett calls the war pimps. They added billions in defense in their continuing resolution, and they're adding the new F-47 fighter jet, of course named after Trump, even after he and Musk campaigned on the waste of the F-35 fighter jet, which isn't even finished yet. A new report in the Washington Post says Trump agency heads are planning to cut between 8 and 50% of their employees per department. HUD, half. SBA, small business, half. 1/3 of the IRS employees. Bobby's going to be here to talk about a 25% cut at HHS. 10,000 left voluntarily. 10,000 more are now planned to be let go. Many more departments are going to be making cuts, but guess who isn't included in that report? The DOD, the Department of Defense. What the government spends on non-defense civilian employees is nothing compared to what it spends on the entire Defense Department. 2022, government spent just under $110 billion on non-defense civilian employees. Same year, the national defense budget, $800 billion. Fight about that. Fight about how Trump justifies invoking the state secrets privilege just to defy a court order that Trump promised he would respect. Fight about that. Fight about how it's okay to say you're about the Constitution and then allow Speaker Johnson to threaten to eliminate district courts because they don't like the rulings. Defend the decision to cut funding for vaccines for kids abroad that may deny as many as 75 million kids vaccine protection. There's an estimate that says it could lead to over 1 million deaths of those same kids in a few years. Focus on what matters to the majority, to the many, not just on the gotcha fest of the moment that the left and right want you to focus on. Enough with the game. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.